everyone. Welcome to the 6th Annual Mentor Recruitment Rally and Celebration. I'm Allison Daly, and I'm the director of the Old Colony Y Big Sister, Big Brother mentoring team. And for the past 2 years, I've had the privilege as serving as the chair of the Caring Adults team, and on behalf of everyone, I would like to welcome you here tonight. There are many people and programs that have made tonight possible. There are the financial sponsors for tonight's event, noted in the program, and whose logos you'll see on our slideshow. There's the Caring Adults team and the organizations that support their employees' participation on it. There are the mentors and the businesses that we are recognizing tonight for their ongoing efforts to support healthy youth development. And then there are the community members and the youth who took the time out of their schedule to nominate and recognize the Caring Adults here tonight. Thank you all for your time and your efforts in making this possible. With everyone's support, we're able to come here to celebrate National Mentoring Month together as a community. We're here to recognize all of the wonderful people and businesses who are supporting our youth and to recruit more people to step up and become mentors. It's important to annually recognize the effort and work that mentors do and the need for more mentors, as research tells us that supportive relationships with caring adults are the single most important factor for children to develop into healthy, competent adults. Last week, I was able to attend Youth Mentoring Day at the State House, which was hosted by the Mass Mentoring Partnership. And there I was challenged to think, what is the mentor effect? Of course, there are the statistics. Youth who are mentored are less likely to engage in violent behavior. They're less likely to abuse substances or alcohol. And they're more likely to graduate high school and attend college. However, as someone who has been blessed with mentoring relationships in my life, and who is privileged to see the incredible work of mentors at our program every day, I know that statistics just can't capture the mentor effect. Anyone who's been in a mentoring relationship can testify that while the statistics are impressive and certainly important, the mentor effect on an individual is immeasurable. I am truly excited for tonight. We have a wonderful agenda for you and some amazing community leaders and speakers that are going to testify about the importance of mentoring. So as you listen to people, think about the relationships that you have had in your life, the ones that you have been gifted with, and consider, how can you give back? I would be remiss without acknowledging that if you're here tonight, you obviously are supportive and give back to your community. So as you think about the importance of investing in our community as a mentor, please think about other people in your life who might be in a position to be a mentor themselves. When asked why people do not volunteer as mentors, the #1 reason that people say is that they have not been asked. So, if there's anyone out there who has not been asked, consider I am asking you. At each place setting, there should be a card, and on one side, you'll find an evaluation of tonight that we're going to ask you to fill out and leave on the table. On the flip side is information about a follow-up session that the Caring Adults Committee will be having in February. At that session, there'll be all different programs in where you can learn what program might be the best fit for you. If you're interested in learning more, or you know a friend or a family member who would make a great mentor, please fill out the form. We'll contact you, give you the information, and try to find the program that's the best fit. So before I introduce our MCs for the evening, who I know just can't wait to get up here, I want to take a minute to recognize some special guests that we are pleased to have here tonight. Your presence speaks to your commitment to Brockton's youth, the caring adults who go above and beyond, and to mentoring as a long-term community investment. As I call your name, please stand so that we may recognize you. The Honorable Mayor Bill Carpenter. Superintendent Kathleen Smith. And City Councilor at Large Moses Rodriguez. Thank you. Thank you for all your work to make our community stronger. So before I get Shayna and Ed up here, I'm pleased to announce our MCs for the evening. Shayna Barnes has been a Brockton resident for the past 33 years. With a Bachelor of Science degree in Criminal Justice and a graduate degree in Justice Administration from Northeastern University, Shayna has used her skills and talents to give back to the community in a range of ways. Shayna has worked at the Plymouth County District's Attorney's Office, with the Department of Youth Services, and the Department of Children and Families, and she has served on the Board of Directors for Brockton Day Nursery. Currently, Shayna serves as District Representative for Congressman Stephen F. Lynch in the 8th Congressional District. In November, with almost 4,000 votes, Shayna was elected to the Brockton City Council, making her the first African-American woman in Brockton's history to serve on the council. Since 1998, sorry, Ed. Since 1998, Ed Jacobs has been the Director of Grants and Sponsored Projects at the Plymouth County District's Attorney's Office. He holds a master's degree in clinical social work from Boston College, and with over 30 years of experience in juvenile justice and forensic mental health fields, he is on the faculty at Bridgewater State University, Curry College, and Stonehill College. In addition to his extensive professional experience in working with youth and families, Ed has been a proponent of mentoring in the Brockton community throughout his career. Most recently, Ed has been named co-chair of the Brockton's Promise Coalition, where he oversees the development of the 5 Promise teams and works to secure resources and funding opportunities for various initiatives promoted by the coalition. As you can see, both of our MCs have demonstrated a long-standing commitment to Brockton youth and the Brockton community as a whole. Everyone, please join me now in welcoming your MCs for the evening, Shayna Barnes and Ed Jacobs.
So I'm always going to go after you.
Oh, man. Hello again, everyone. Come on, I'm full of energy. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm full of energy. So come on. Okay. All right. Excellent. Thank you so much, Allison, and thank you to this wonderful organization for having this and for making the investment in our future. You know, our children are the future, and what our children need are mentors, and it's so great to be recognized and to recognize folks that are doing things because they want to, not because they have to, not because they're getting paid. It's because they want to, and they see something, they see that light that needs to be celebrated and needs to be recognized. So thank you all right now, but this is official thank you, so I just want to say that. I am Shayna Barnes. It's so nice to be here. I'm so excited. I just want to, actually first, let me just take a picture real quick. Do you mind? I know you're hungry, I know, but I just have to, just really quickly, I just have to, because I want to make sure that everybody sees what we're doing here and that we're celebrating. Boom, it's done. To social media it goes. All right, so now Ed and I are here, and I will bring him up right now.
Well, it's very nice to be here. You're a tough act to follow, so I'm not even going to bother trying. I do want to see if I can't get one more congratulatory for Ms. Barnes for her recent election. So would you please?
Thank you.
So some wonderful things are happening in Brockton, and Ms. Barnes is certainly part of that as well. We also want to introduce someone else who's kind of new to the job. I guess he's only been there now 3 weeks at this point. And he doesn't look like he's any worse for the wear at this point, but we're very excited to have Mayor Bill Carpenter with us. One thing I've known about Bill for the years that I've known him, now maybe 15 or 20, is that he's always been, he was that guy, that person who did those little things for kids, little things for organizations, sometimes a lot of big things, but he made sure the little things get done, and he didn't do it with a lot of fanfare. So it's really a privilege for us to have him here tonight to start our event, and I want to introduce Mayor Bill Carpenter. I'm going to take this.
Well, thank you. Which mic am I using here?
All of them.
All of them. All right. Good evening, everyone. How are you? Well, it's really a pleasure for me to be invited to speak with you. I guess this is our 6th annual mentoring rally and recognition awards. My first as your mayor, and it's a pleasure to be here with you. I look around the room, see so many people I know and so many people who I realize are very, very committed to the young people in this city. So I think to a certain extent tonight we're preaching to the choir here. So perhaps we need to get you folks to take tonight's message out and share it with others. You know, from the city standpoint, we need to constantly increase our commitment to the young people of the city. You know, being in a city, it's not always an easy place for a kid to grow up. And kids in this city face a lot of challenges from a lot of different directions, you know, whether it's threats of violence or being exposed to drugs or all the different at-risk situations that kids can find themselves in. And unfortunately, lots of times young people in the city don't really have a responsible adult in their life that's looking out for them. And I know that, looking around the room, I'm sure there's a few. We've got a lot of grandparents raising children in this city nowadays. I'm raising one of my grandchildren. It's a deal a lot of us didn't think we were going to sign up for at this age, but we do it with love. But sometimes there's kids that really need someone that don't even have a grandparent or someone to step up for them. Or they have an adult who's just not really there when they need them. So that's why mentoring is so very important, because there's just those few years in a kid's life where they make these decisions that affect the rest of their life, how their life is going to come out. And it's tough to explain to a kid in the 6th or 7th grade that a decision that they're making may determine how the next 40 years turns out for them, in the next 50 years. So that's why the mentoring is so very, very important, just to be a positive influence and a positive role model in some young person's life. It doesn't take a lot of time. It does take some commitment. But you can, you know, and think about opportunities of things you get to do in your life where you can really see the results of some good work that you've done. And mentoring is one of those situations, because in just a pretty short period of time, just over a few years, if you make a little investment in a young adult, you're going to see the rewards right away in terms of them thriving and doing well in school and staying out of trouble, and, you know, hopefully going on to college, and I guarantee you're going to make a friend for the rest of your life, because that person, as that young person grows up, they're never going to forget the role that you played in them becoming a successful adult, and that's a really rewarding thing. So I hope that for the businesses here tonight that have supported mentoring, Christo's and Alves Market and Signature Healthcare, thank you so much. A big part of what we need, and the superintendent and I just had this conversation the other day about engaging the business community more in the school system and in our young people, and these are businesses that have done it. We need more businesses to make that commitment to do it. And also, I know there were a lot of wonderful people nominated for awards here tonight for mentoring, and just for myself personally, on behalf of the city, thank you so much for the commitment that you've made to young people in this city. And I hope that we can continue to foster this and grow this every year. Although I don't know if we can get too many more people in the room, but that's a good thing. But to all the folks that support the mentors, and to those who will, you know, help our young people, thank you very much. So congratulations to the award winners, congratulations to all the nominees, and for anyone in the room who has not thought about being a mentor, please, make that decision to go forward. We've got, there's things the city can do, and I know we've got some challenges to help mentor young kids in terms of, we need to improve the diversity of the teaching staff in the schools, and we need to improve the diversity of the police force, and there are political, social things you can do to try to make this a better city for kids to grow up in. But at the end of the day, it's what each of you can do on a one-on-one basis in the life of one young person that will change their future. So please mentor, and thank you so much for your support. God bless.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That's a great address, and it leads me into something that is on your table. Actually, underneath your napkins, you'll see a card. It has two sides. The side that I want to bring your attention to at this time refers, like I said, to what the mayor just said. We need more mentors. We need you. We need your friends. This is your information card. This is where you sign up. This is where you can get more information going forward from today. So we just want to make sure that I bring that to your attention. Take a look at it, become familiar with it, fill it out, and get ready. All right. Next, I would like to call up our superintendent of schools, Ms. Kathy Smith. She has been in the Brockton school system for over 35 years. And Brockton schools, everybody knows, Brockton School is like a pilot program for other school systems in the area. We've had other districts and things come to Brockton to see how we run our school system. So that definitely says something. And under her direction as the superintendent, I know that we'll go even further. So I am extremely proud to present to you our superintendent of schools. And I did not intend to say that. I superintended to say it. Miss Kathleen Smith.
Shawnee, you are a tough act to follow. It is such an honor to stand here tonight as your superintendent of schools, because you know what? It's actually 37 years, and this feels like home to me. So thank you for the privilege of overseeing your school system, your children, working with your teachers, working with the organizations that are out there that have welcomed me in this new role, and people that I've worked with for a long time. The businesses, what can I say? It does take a village to make sure that we're working to support our children. But let me start by telling you a story. Back in September, we opened up a kindergarten center. It was called the Barrett Russell Kindergarten Center, and it's the old B.B. Russell School. We put 300 little kindergartners in that school. On opening day, all the little children came, the parents, they were excited, the buses pulled in. And because we had so much traffic, we of course had our school policemen there. Well, lo and behold, a little girl came off the bus. Her parents were unable to be with her that day. They were working. They were 3 weeks in this country. She did not speak a word of English. When she got off the bus, she was in tears. She was in turmoil. The school police officer bent down, took her by the hand without a word, brought her up into her classroom with her 20 other classmates, helped her sit down, got the coloring book and crayons, a very universal language, and he had a friend for life. Now, if that's not mentoring, he sees me along the way and he'll say to me, I have to get to the Barrett Russell School and check on my friend. He walks in that classroom, he's created an atmosphere where the children understand they are in a safe place. And that's what it's all about, the work that you do each and every day, every one of you. If you can create that kind of an environment, from the littlest youngster to the biggest youngster, you have done a world of good for each one of us. So that they feel that somebody cares, somebody tells them they're worthwhile, somebody gives them a tip about a job. When I walked in here tonight, 3 young girls came up. They were freshmen, sophomore at the high school. They were excited to meet the superintendent. The superintendent was excited to meet them. Because what they said to me was they were offered a job. And it was attractive to them because, like all of us, they had a little money in their pocket if somebody was going to give a young adult, a young adolescent, a job. But what they really found out in the end was it was much more than that. They got to work with younger children. They got to enjoy them, do activities with them. They can't wait till they can continue to do that. It empowered them, it showed them leadership skills, and these are people, years from now, they'll remember this experience. So things have already been said to you. Again, as the mayor said, and I echo his remarks, when I look out there and look at every one of you, we are preaching to the choir. I know that the work you do. I see you out there. I'm so proud of the nominees. I'm proud of the teachers. I'm proud of the people that are our school employees that are receiving awards tonight. I don't want to name you individually. I'm sure I would miss somebody, but for every one of the nominees there, it makes such a difference. And this is one thing I will tell you as your superintendent of schools. When we hire teachers in the Brockton Public Schools, we will make sure that they understand it is not just a job. If you think this is just a job, you can find a job someplace else. It is much more than that. I expect as your superintendent that you're working with our students, you're mentoring our students, you're getting involved in those after-school activities, because this should be a passion and this should be something that you love. So again, thank you for letting me be your superintendent. I'm excited to be here and celebrate all of the honors for every one of you, to our mentors, our businesses, our community partners, and each and every one of you joining us this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent, for those great words. You and I know each other from many, many years ago when you were taking care of all those little ones. So I appreciate all your efforts, and congratulations, and I think everyone will agree with me, the best of luck to you and your challenges you have ahead as well. I saw that State Representative Brady came in. Did I miss where is Representative Brady? Thank you, Michael Brady. Well, thank you very much, and we're grateful that you're here. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. It's my privilege to introduce Dr. Reverend Mark Oliver from the Trinity Baptist Church, who's going to lead us in an invocation. Reverend Mark. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ed. You know, many of you know that in the Old Testament book of Malachi, that we really learn something about the heart of God right toward the end of that book, when he says that someday he will turn the hearts of the fathers to the children. And it says something about God's desire that children would know that they're loved, that they're supported, that they have indeed a destiny, a future. And so I say that because it says something about us. It says something about a community. It says something about everyone who's been participating in some way in the mentoring of our young people that connects us to God. It says something about God being in this place when people are moved to serve and stand in the gap in that way until parents can do the job that, for whatever reason, they're not doing, till they step up and do it. And so with that in mind, we count it as a privilege to go before the Lord and to give praise to Him and to thank Him for this evening and to thank Him for all that He's doing through this initiative. Would you bow your heads? Lord, we do praise you and we thank you for who you are. We thank you that thou art almighty. We thank you that you are in control of all things. And while we don't understand all of your ways, we know that you care for every mother and father. You care for every little boy and every little girl. And you care for what's going on in every single home. And Lord, we're here tonight understanding that your heart is for peace in the home and for the future of every young person, for them to know joy and peace and fulfillment. And so tonight we thank you for the city, we thank you for its leaders, we thank you for these people, but we especially thank you for our young people and their parents and those mentors who have come alongside those parents. And we thank you for what you are doing through them we ask that you would bless all of us tonight. Bless us with a challenge. Bless us with encouragement. And bless us in our fellowship time and our discussion as we partake in this meal that's been prepared. For Lord, we know all of it is a demonstration of your grace. And so it's in Jesus' name we do pray. Amen.
So, what do you like about your mentor?
She's my superhero.
And what exactly is her superpower?
She has like all the time in the world for me.
How much exactly is all the time in the world?
Like 2 hours a week.
I want to live in your world because that's amazing. What about you?
My mentor is so rich. I mean, like, he took me to the Celtics game, he took me to the Science Museum, and he took me to the Kiss concert.
Were all those tickets donated by the generous partners from the program?
Yeah.
So, what you're telling me exactly is you don't have to be a superhero, or have all the time in the world, or be super rich to be a mentor? That's literally amazing.
It's not complicated. Becoming a mentor allows you to support the youth through the good times and the bad.
But not every kid has that one-on-one mentor they are looking for.
Other youth have a caring teacher who looks out for them in the classroom and even after the bell rings.
Some youths have coaches that devote their time on and off the field.
Becoming a mentor gives the young person the outside perspective and support that they deserve but may not have.
Taking an adult who's outside of the family who has different work experiences.
Every youth has a voice waiting to be heard. Every boxer deserves to have a champion. Support the youth. Show them that the community cares.
What I like about my mentor is that she has so much experience that she can help me with, and she just pushes me, and she's always confident, and I need that extra boost that can help me achieve whatever I want.
It's important to have a mentor in your life because you need somebody to guide you when you don't feel like talking to your mother, father, friends, or anything. Sometimes you just need that push from the right person to get where you want to get or succeed. It's been really important in my experience to have a mentor because now I know what I want to do with my life.
Being a mentor to Michaela and Bradley is helping them find a voice of their own in order to speak up for what they feel is right or wrong. A mentor is someone who leads by example. They also communicate hope and optimism to their mentee. Mentors provide an exceptional learning experience for their mentees, and in doing so, will expand their mentees' awareness, insight, and perspective in life.
Be a mentor!
I was looking for Shayna. We were supposed to start this a while ago, and I just can't. Has anybody seen Shayna Bonds? Anybody looking around? Shayna Bonds?
Hi, Ed. I'm over here at the resource area.
Oh, my God.
I just want to make sure that we shed some light on the resource tables that are available. I'm actually over here admiring the Boys and Girls Club display that they have here. Boys and Girls, but last time I went to the Boys and Girls Club, it was over the summer, and I participated in a dance class that they had there. And the young kids were just doing their thing and making sure that they were getting their exercise and celebrating each other and helping one another and mentoring one another. So, in addition to making sure that you tell your friends and family, on the other side of that evaluation card that's under your what? Napkins, make sure you come on over here and take a look at the various organizations that are over here at the resource table. And don't forget the Brockton Youth Council selling raffle tickets till the end of dinner, which is very, very, very soon. So make sure you go there and get your raffle ticket. And thank you very much. Back to you, Ed.
Thank you, Jenna. It's like the roving reporter. How about that? Can I give her a round of applause, please? I don't know if she knows, but at city council meetings, they don't let you walk around like that. So I don't know if you're going to have to tie you down or something. One of the things I want to, it's not a good idea to have your students skip school ever or miss class, but I want to give a quick shout out to Stonehill College, who's doing all that tonight. And I want to tell all the organizations, churches, other groups here, if you're interested in getting some really great kids, some really smart kids who are committed and want to do good things, you should over there and introduce yourselves, and you should do the same. So there you go. I'm going to introduce you to our guest speaker, who I'm really excited about. I had a chance to hear him several years ago, and so it's really going to be my pleasure to introduce Reverend Tim Allen. Reverend Allen has been the pastor of Greater Friendship Missionary Baptist Church for the last 8 years. He's a native of Boston and a graduate of Northeastern University. He's a Husky. He was employed by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Department of Youth Services currently. Reverend Allen received Christ as a teenager and has always been driven to see other people establish a relationship with the Lord. His concern for young people, especially those deemed at risk, has had a tremendous impact on his ministry. He has mentored and poured into the lives of many individuals across this country. He currently serves as one of the Protestant chaplains at the Nashua Street Jail. Pastor Allen is also nationally recognized as a lecturer on urban issues. For more than 20 years, he has worked with high-risk youth and their families. He has pioneered strategies to assist youth in integrating into their home communities, and his innovations have caught the attention of law enforcement agencies, schools, community-based organizations, faith-based organizations, for which he is a regular speaker, a trainer, and a consultant. He's a very accomplished man, as you can see. Pastor Allen has been married to his wife Sheila for the past 21 years. They are the proud parents of a beautiful daughter named Alexandra. Please join me in welcoming Pastor Tim Allen. Thank you, sir. And thank you very much for everything.
Good evening. Wait, let's try that one more time. Good evening. Good evening. Have some life in the room. You're dealing with a Baptist preacher. I got an amen corner to my right. Listen, this is a dangerous thing on tonight. A Baptist preacher, a microphone, and a crowd. I won't be long. I promise I'll get you out by 9. And then the room went quiet. But good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure and a privilege to be able to come out and greet you on tonight. Just want to acknowledge some of the dignitaries in the room, the mayor who was here earlier in his absence, to Chairperson Daly, to the city councilors that are here, the school superintendent who's also here. I believe there was a state rep that was also represented. Just good evening to everyone that's here. What an honor it is to be a part of what's going on here this evening at the Brockton Promise Caring Adults Mentor Rally, and to see so many people who have come to be a part of this great celebration. Your presence here tonight is a demonstration of your understanding of the power and impact that a mentor can have on the life of a person. In a time when we're inundated by horrible examples of behavior that seek to compete for the attention of our children, I applaud any adult that's willing to stand up and serve as an example for someone else regarding how a person should live their life. And I want to applaud you on tonight. I also want to say on this evening that mentoring is not something that's a new phenomenon, but has actually existed for quite a while, in case you didn't know. The story of Mentor actually finds itself in Homer's great work called The Odyssey. And in that story, there was a king by the name of Odysseus, who was the king of a place called Ithaca. And he's preparing to go off and fight in the Trojan War. And realizing that he'll be gone for a great deal of time, he recognizes that he'll need someone to look after his household, specifically his son, Telemachus, someone who'd be able to teach him the things that he will need to know in order to one day be king. So he calls upon a man, and the man's name was Mentor. And Mentor served as the teacher and overseer for the young man, Telemachus. And since that time, the word mentor has evolved to mean a trusted advisor, a friend, a teacher, or a wise person. And down throughout our history, there are many examples of mentoring relationships that can be highlighted. Socrates mentored Plato. Haydn mentored Beethoven. If I were to turn to the scriptures, I could say that Moses mentored Joshua, and the list goes on and on. You see, Odysseus understood the need for his son, but he also understood the impact that the right person could have in the life of another person. I want you to know on tonight that if someone has asked you to be a mentor, it means that they have observed something in your life that they believe someone else can benefit from. And if you've answered the call to be a mentor, it means that you recognize that you have something to offer to someone else. And if done properly, the relationship that you form can and should last for a lifetime. I'm going to say that again. If done properly, the relationship that you form can and should last for a lifetime. I believe it was Coach John Wooden who said, mentoring is your true legacy. It is the greatest inheritance you can give to others, and it should never end. It's why you get up every day to teach and to also be taught. As a pastor, the Bible tells me in 1 Corinthians 7:7 that God has gifted all men. And when he said men, he included women as well. And that means that everyone has something to offer to someone else. But in order to make an impact on someone else's life, first and foremost, you need to be aware that you have something to offer. And secondly, you also need to be willing to share what you have with someone else. If you have a voice to sing, but you only sing to yourself, no one is benefited. But when you share your voice with others, their life can be impacted. If God has given you knowledge and you keep it to yourself, no one is impacted. But when you share your knowledge with others, you can change a life. If you have love, but you keep it to yourself, it benefits no one. And in fact, on tonight, love really isn't love until you give it away to somebody else. And then it actually becomes love. The scriptures also tell us that no one lights a lamp to put it under a bowl, but they put it on a stand so that all can benefit from its light. And you people that are here on tonight that are mentors, you are the lights that are changing the lives and making the difference in other people's lives. Now, where are all the people that are matched up with a mentee? Are they here on tonight? If you're matched up with a mentee, let me see the hands of the mentors and the mentees on tonight, all around the room. Look around the room. Hold your hands up. Keep your hands up. Keep your hands up. Now there's something that I want you to do. If you're sitting next to your mentee, I want you to look them in the face. Just look them in the face. And those of you that are sitting close by, look at the matches. Look them in the face. Now I want to say something to you while you're looking at them. Do you see that smile on that face? Do you see that smile on that face? Let me tell you what that smile is saying. That smile is saying that I'm glad you decided to become a mentor, and I'm proud to have you as my mentor. That's what the smile says on tonight. But in 10 or 20 years, that same smile will say, you know what? I tried harder in life because you believed in me. In 10 or 20 years, that same smile will say, I reached farther in life because you inspired me. In 10 or 20 years, that same smile will say, I never quit because you encouraged me. In 10 or 20 years, that same smile will say, I stayed out of trouble because you counseled me. In 10 or 20 years, that same smile will say, I felt good about myself because you and others like you love me. That's what that smile on that face says. And to those of you that have not become mentors on tonight, I want to tell you that you too have the capacity to put a smile on someone's face. You too can be an inspiration to another person. You too can be the encouragement of another person. What Mentor did in ancient Greece for Telemachus, you can do in the life of a child in the city of Brockton when you realize that you have something to share and you're willing to share it with someone else. I end with a story. And in this story, the story is told of a young man who was homeless. And he went by the restaurant, and the owner had a daughter. And this young homeless person, this young man, about 8 or 9 years old, went by. Every day he would go by, and he was homeless, and the man would look at him, and his daughter would always get frustrated because he would come by. And her father told her, he said, listen, he doesn't have what we have, and we should be willing to share what we have with him. And on one particular day, he gave him some soup and some bread. And this man was known for being kind in the community, helping other people that he found less fortunate than him. And years later, as the man grew older, he got sick, and he had to go into the hospital. And his daughter was still around at the time, and she was helping to take care of her father, and he was in the hospital, and the bills were getting very, very high. And she was sitting down, and she was trying to figure out how she was going to pay the bill of her father. The doctor came in, and the doctor looked at his charts and saw the trouble that he was in, and he walked out. The daughter, not knowing what to do, she went out in that area where they sit down to counsel people when troubled times are coming. And when she went out there, she found an envelope that had her name on it. And she opened up the envelope, and it had a bill in there from the hospital. And at the bottom of the bill said, paid in full. And she didn't understand how the bill got paid. And then she kept reading down at the bottom of the bill, and it said, paid in full with a bowl of soup and bread years ago. The man's doctor was the little boy who he had been kind to years earlier. And that one act of kindness was remembered by a young man for the rest of his life. So tonight, I challenge you to have an impact on the life of someone else. I challenge you to realize that you have something to offer. I challenge you to be willing to share your gift with others. And most importantly, I challenge you to be willing to put a smile on a young person's face. Congratulations to all of the awardees on tonight. Thank you, and God bless you.
Wow. 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 I don't know how you follow that. I think the only way we can do that is to try to say, thank you, Reverend, thank you very much. Once again, thank you very much. But maybe we have a way to try to follow that, and it's kind of those people who are the heroes, the champions, if you will, of the evening. So for the second year in a row, we wanted to take an opportunity to recognize another important piece of all our mentoring programs, and that's the businesses in Brockton who support Brockton's Promise and our mentoring relationships. There are many businesses that are invested in the community. The following three have been particularly influential in supporting local youth and mentoring programs. They're represented here tonight. As we present each business with the Promise in Action Award for Outstanding Businesses, I would like a representative to join us. Al's Grocery, please. Al's Grocery owner Maria Al's was born in Cape Verde and immigrated to the United States in 1981. For 15 years, Maria worked in local hospitals, but her passion was always to open her own grocery, as her father, grandfather, and great-grandfather were all business owners. Through her business, a passion for community began to grow, and she began to look for additional ways to serve her community. Al's Grocery has chosen to support nonprofit youth-serving organizations and has provided free food to youth and families at multiple youth-centered events, including Brockton Youth Summerfest, the Brockton Arts Festival, and many, many other community events. I want to congratulate you and thank you so very much. You're next.
The next business that we'd like to shed a special light on is Christo's. How many of us in here, yeah, exactly, go ahead.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe to say how many of us in here have ever gone to Christo's, but I think the number would be less if I said who has not gone to Christo's. Christo's definitely holds a special place in all of our hearts. And Chris and Bessie Songus opened Christo's restaurant in December of 1964. Against the advice of everyone who said, you know, why would you open up in Brockton, on the east side of Brockton? You've heard that before. But luckily for all of us, and luckily for our community, they did not listen. The philosophy of Christo's was to invest in the community and to be to be a very, very special piece of our community, mentoring kids and making sure that their business was a gem in the crown of Brockton. And we appreciate them for that. We appreciate the whole family for that. They have provided both food and financial support to many youth service organizations, to name a few. Brockton High athletic teams, the Drama Club, Boys and Girls Club, the Boys and Girls Brigade, like I said, just to name a few. And last year, sadly, we lost an icon. We lost Chris, and we definitely all felt that. However, today his daughter is here, and we want to recognize her, and we want to recognize what she has done for us and for the kids of the area. And we thank you for having that legacy go on, and we would like to honor you today. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Gigi Johnson.
This is such a humbling. Signature Healthcare has been a long-standing supporter of Brockton's promise of mentoring and youth development in the city. Signature understands the benefit of employee volunteerism and encourages their staff to be involved in the community. From welcoming individual mentoring programs to host recruitment tables at the hospital year-round, to encouraging employees to attend the mentor recruitment rally and celebration, to in fact sponsoring the event itself, Signature is an agency that the Caring Adults team can count on and has year after year. Their support has been instrumental in both the rally's success and in helping all of the programs to find the caring adults that our youth are seeking. Furthermore, Signature provides both volunteer and employment opportunities for Brockton youth, helping them to foster positive youth development and strengthen our community. Their commitment to Brockton has been a powerful tool in connecting our youth to resources and motivating them to give back. Congratulations, Signature. Who's picking up? Oh, great. Thank you to these three businesses for exemplifying what it means to be a caring adult. When local businesses support our programs and volunteers, the youth are exposed to different opportunities and skills and encouraged to become more involved in their community. These youth ultimately become more successful and more integral contributors to our community, and eventually wanting to support and mentor others. So again, it carries on, which is what we love. Thank you very much, and congratulations, all of you. Okay. They're going to stay here for the rest of everybody else? Can you ask them to? Okay. There you go. Okay, she's doing that. Great. Now I'd like to introduce, and Shane is going to help me with this, all the nominees for Promise in Action Awards for exceptional mentoring. This is really why we're here, so this is great. These mentors were nominated by either their mentees or their colleagues in the community for their dedication and consistent presence in making a difference in the life of a youth. We ask that all nominees please approach the podium and remain up here for the presentation of the awards. Audience, please hold your applause until all the names have been called. I know that'll be hard to do, but please bear with us.
First name, Alberto Alves, nominated by Lucas. Okay, Alfonso Andre Jr., nominated by Matilda. Carissa Beninkinson, nominated by Nadija. Shaquan Berry, nominated by Jamari and Ryan. These are children that are nominating their mentor. Sandra Bowers, nominated by Vivian Renee. And also today is her birthday. What a way to celebrate your birthdays, to be recognized for the work that you do selflessly. Deshaun Butner, nominated by the Old Colony-wide Family Support Team. Colonel Richard Clark, nominated by his child nominator, Sarah. Susan Davis, nominated by Ariana. Okay. Huh? Oh, slow it down. Okay. Ready? Emily Flores, nominated by Addie. Matt Gurley, nominated by Matilda. Fabiola Hippolyte, nominated by Stanley and Michaela. Where's Fabiola? Mario Lamari, nominated by Alana and Ashila. Excellent. Beverly Marini, nominated by Selena. Hi, Fabiola. Congratulations. James Martinelli, nominated by Heather Araji. Arigi, Heather Arigi. Drake McCabe, nominated by child nominator Austin. Stephen McCall, nominated by Marquise Taylor. Unfortunately, he's not here this evening. Phi Mitchell, nominated by Faluau and Isaiah. No, that's not right? Was that wrong? Okay. Joan Packard, nominated by child Chanel. Jen Pooter, nominated by Casey. Marcella Rains, nominated by Holly Coots. Carla Ribeiro, nominated by Nee and Marie. Olga Rodriguez Rosa, nominated by Barbara Walters. All right, go Olga. Gloria Rubilar, nominated by child nominator William. It's getting crowded up here. This is great. Alicia Tagger, nominated by Anthony Raven, Regina, and Justice.
Hi, thank you.
Peter Terenzi, nominated by child nominator Hunter. Familiar to us all, Janet Trask, nominated by Tamara and Lucy. Who's going to take your picture, Janet? Oh, okay. Christine Tufts, nominated by Lila. Lisa Bellini, nominated by Natalie. Okay, all right, there you go. Woo, got it. Catherine Walper, nominated by Travis Ellis, Luna Mirna, Ebony, Maria, Tashida, am I getting this right? And Darlene. That's my homegirl. Hey, girl. Okay, and the nominees that are not here this evening, but we do want to recognize them. Lila Burgess, nominated by Kathia Middleton. Tara Rosen, nominated by child nominator Adrina. Michaela, nominated by Franz. Apparently they're cool like that. Dr. Herbert, nominated by Fegans.
Congratulations.
Craig Jenkins, nominated by Kwayu. And Enoma Akubar, nominated by Etinosa. Everyone, put your hands together. 2014 nominees, Brockton's Promise Mentors.
To all our nominees, thank you for all you do. Well, all the mentors nominated tonight are exceptional in their own right. The winners of the 2014 Promise in Action Award for Exceptional Mentoring stood out to the selection committee for going above and beyond their youth that they serve. These 4 winners represent a mix of mentors nominated by their mentees and by their colleagues. Could you please step forward to the front as we call your name? The winners are Jim Martelli, Jennifer Putter, Sandra Bowers, congratulations, and Katie Walper. Last but not least. Katie brought her entire family with her tonight. Aunts, uncles. Please join me in congratulating not only our winners, but all our nominees. Am I doing Royale? I'm doing Royale, right? I'm doing this guy.
Yes.
And then we're good.
You want to just do this, just a reminder to...
Oh, yeah, go ahead. You do that.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're almost done. We have the last thing going, but I want to remind you to visit the resource tables. There's information over there. Also, if you're on social media,
Facebook.
yes, if you're on social media, make sure that you like Brockton Promise Facebook page, and we've also kind of started a hashtag. So if you go on your social media site and you hashtag it out, Mentor Rally 2014, hash it up, all right? All right.
She's so tough to follow, I tell you. Well, we're about at our conclusion, but we've saved, I think, someone very special for you, and I'd like to introduce him now if you give me a moment. Royale L. Radin is a scholar of the spoken word poetry, motivational public speaker, life coach, philosopher, mentor for young kings and queens of the community, founder of De Rape Productions, co-producer of Soul Bliss, and a board member of the parent magazine and the Brockton Arts. Royale has embarked on a journey to motivate and inspire the masses by teaching the importance of change, proper thinking, discipline, structure, and daily routines that will take them one step closer to their goals and life's purpose. He says, quote, "I'm on a revolution to inspire on purpose," unquote. Join me now in welcoming Royale.
How y'all feeling in here tonight? That's how y'all feeling? How y'all feeling in here tonight? Yes. First off, I'd like to Brockton Promise, mentors, mentees, the mayor who was here, the city council at large, the superintendent of Brockton Schools, and the district attorney. It's an honor and privilege to stand before you today. While I'm here, I'd like to congratulate the mentors, because it takes love, bravery, guts, time, effort, and sacrifice to help guide someone else. The mentees, especially the mentees, congrats to you, because it takes humility, faith, and cognizance to allow somebody else to mentor you. And to everyone in here, because obviously we're all here because of the importance of mentoring. What's a mentor to me? Well, M-E-N-T-O-R. Morals, encouragement, nurturing, teaching, opportunity, responsibility. What else? Mentors, encourage, nurture, and teach others responsibilities. That's what mentoring is to me. That's what mentors mean to me. For me, I grew up in a single-parent home without a father, and my first mentor was my mother. And for some reason along the way, any man who gave me love and attention, for some reason I always wanted to listen to that person. So we can say I had positive mentors and not so positive mentors. And as a child, I was very hard-headed. Well, I'm still hard-headed a little bit. But I was so hard-headed that I followed some of the not so positive mentors down the wrong path. And it led me to my greatest mentor, which was adversity. Adversity was my biggest mentor. And what I really want to say is that when I was off track, for me to get back on track, I remembered some of the positive mentors that I had along the way. Like, for example, the mentor who would tell me, young man, tie your laces and be aware of the people who are around you, yourself, and love yourself. Like the other mentor who told me, young man, what are you doing out here in the streets at nighttime? You're supposed to be home. The streets are not a good place for kids to be. Like the other mentor who told me, anything you want to be, you can become that person if you just believe in yourself, if you commit yourself, and you educate yourself. The other mentor who told me, young man, pull your pants up. Pull your pants up. Because a man of respect keeps everything up, not down. And I added all these mentors up together, and I am what I am today because of these mentors. And ladies and gentlemen, mentoring matters. Mentoring doesn't mean giving your whole life away 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's not what mentoring is. You could be a mentor by just, bringing these young people to your place of business and giving them a tour and speaking to them about how you got to where you are and what it takes to get there as well. By conducting workshops, by donating your time to other mentoring programs. Because to be honest, everybody who's in here who's successful became successful because they had somebody who mentored them at one time in their life. And even right now, as adults, we still need mentors. Right now, as we speak. That's how important mentoring is. So, I'm just saying we must give back the best way we know how. I'm speaking here because it's a call to action. A call to action for even the people who aren't here, that we can influence them to become mentors as well. And mentoring does not cost anything, but we have everything to gain from being mentors. Like safer communities, like raising individuals to become great in the city, to become great in the town, to become great in the state, the country, the world, to become better people all around. There are children out there who are looking for people to look up to. I mean, we must become those people on purpose. When your child needs somebody to talk to other than you, who can they go to? When your child needs somebody to give advice to them other than you, who can they go to? Well, we must be those people, and we must create the platforms and the opportunities for these things to happen. This is a call to action, and to feel more comfortable, I'm gonna step away from the mic to get the energy that I need. They say it takes a village to raise a child. It takes an active community to raise leaders. And it takes a city of champions to raise champions. And Brockton is a city of champions, right? So, last but not least, I'll say, fellow Brocktonians, let's mentor on purpose. Thank you.
We'd like to introduce someone who you've met earlier in the night, but we have to not only introduce her so she can close out, because we want that, as they say, axle of symmetry, but we also want to thank her and her staff. I have to tell you, as many of you have done these before, if you haven't, I have to tell you, there's hundreds and hundreds of hours of the minute details that they put into putting this together. And Allison Daly and her staff have just been unbelievable. Allison, would you come up here? And everybody has to have a wingman, and I don't know any wingman that's any better than Amanda Trask, so please. Thank you very much, Allison. Thank you very much, the YMCA. I know Allison would like to close, so if you just stay one more minute. We're all set.
Thank you, Ed and Shayna and Cassie and Amanda especially. So I know we're right at 8 o'clock, a little bit after. So as you leave here tonight, I'm going to just ask you to remember 3 things. First, 1 out of 3 people by the age of 19 cannot identify a mentor. I'm going to just pull this down a little bit, sorry. I can't see anyone. 1 out of 3. 1 out of 3 people by the age of 19 cannot identify a mentor in their life. And I think that sometimes we take for granted that mentoring is something that happens naturally. But if 1 out of 3 youth cannot identify a mentor in their life, then I think everyone here needs to realize that we can't just sit back and assume that it's getting done or that someone else is doing it. Secondly, I'm going to ask you to take with you the words of Reverend Allen and of Royale. We all have gifts that we can share with others. Tonight up here, you saw coaches, you saw junior ROTC instructors, you saw teachers, you saw individuals giving a year of service, you saw youth pastors, and traditional big brothers and big sisters, all demonstrating the power of giving of themselves. You have seen people from all walks and all stages of life make the commitment to a youth, and you have seen the youth who give it back to them. So finally, I'm going to ask you to take some of the words of our youth. Some quotes are in the program, and I think we're on the slideshow, but I want to share some specific ones that I think really come back and capture the immeasurable mentor effect. My mentor made me feel welcome. I feel safe and cared for. She keeps my head up. Encourages me to love myself, leads me to build a confidence that I will never lose, willing to see past our flaws and brings out the good, motivates us to do our best, and pushes us to do better. And that if I never had her in my life, I never would have accomplished all that I have. So please, remember, 1, the need for mentors. 2, our responsibility to share our gifts. And 3, that the effects are immeasurable. And consider how you or someone you know might be ready to mentor. And in fact, I challenge everyone in this room tonight to ask someone they know to consider stepping up and becoming a mentor, because as you heard, sometimes people just need to be asked. Many thanks to the Caring Adults team and all of the wonderfully generous sponsors who made tonight possible. Thank you so much to Shayna and Ed. And to the Reverend and Royale. For their willingness to give their time and their passion to this event, because that's what makes it real. Thank you to Al's Grocery, and to Christo's Restaurant, and to Signature Health for their commitment to youth and to our community. Thank you to the mentors and the mentees who have joined us tonight and who give so much to each other. Thank you everyone for coming, and good night.